Hi guys, in today's video I'm going to talk to you about the flip side of Dumaguete. Now I know I just made a video not too long ago about top reasons to retire here in Dumaguete, and that still stands true. There's a lot of great reasons to move and retire out into Dumaguete, but there also are some reasons maybe not to, and these are the most popular that I hear other expats talk about or say the reason why they don't consider Dumaguete as a place to retire or live. All right guys, so actually recently I went into the grocery store and I ran into a gentleman. He came up to me, he's like, hey, Gio, I just want to introduce myself. And we started talking about my recent trip to Iloilo. And he said, you know what, I've tried out Dumaguete, I just don't like it. And he kind of went through some reasons of why he didn't like Dumaguete. And I kind of wanted to go through that with you because I hear these same ones repeated. So for some people, this could be a problem. And I will show some background footage that I did take with my motorcycle cam throughout this last week here. So number one are the no taxis, no grab. For a lot of people, that is a deal breaker because in cities like Iloilo, Bacolod, Cebu, Manila, Davao, you have grab. And so if you don't want to buy a motorbike, you don't want to buy a car, and you don't feel comfortable, and that's completely fine, then you have the option for very inexpensive to take taxi rides or grab rides all over. And it's a great option. And here in Dumaguete, you're kind of stuck to, they call them either pedicabs or tricycles here. And sometimes they are full, so you got to stand outside and try to wave one down and then tell them where you're going and then kind of negotiate on price. Maybe he's not going in that direction, or he's already got 3 other people on there and they want you to squeeze in and you're already a big foreigner as it is. They're not designed for us foreigners, we're usually crunched in there, heads, under. And the tricycles are all over the place here in Dumaguete, so much to the point where it actually impedes traffic quite a bit. The last number I heard, and not on the road at any one time, but I hear there are about 2,000 of these pedicabs in the Dumaguete area. So that is a deal breaker for a lot of guys. And this gentleman I was talking to was 71 years old. He does not want to hop on a motorbike and drive around. He wanted a city that has taxis or grab available. An overabundance of foreigners. Now, this is, for some people, a deal breaker. You got really a couple kinds of people. You got the kind of people who feel safe and secure being around a lot of other foreigners. They feel secure and safety in numbers. Not like this recent kidnapping where the guy lived by himself, no other foreigners, in an area you really shouldn't be in. I'm not talking about that, but I'm talking about being in a city that doesn't have quite as many foreigners. For example, Iloilo, Bacolod. Dumaguete, you have a lot. So does that tie into dating? Yeah, it does. Dating in Dumaguete is probably not as good as some other cities, and it's simply a matter of numbers, right? It just boils down to numbers. Where there's a ton of expats, the dating's not going to be as fruitful. You're nothing special, and you have competition. You go to another city, then, if you're one of the few foreigners walking around, well, of course, you're going to be more of a hot commodity, and you're going to be more special, I guess, and better dating, better numbers. And the dating site that I recommend, it's listed down in the description or the pinned comment. Check it out because that is the dating site that I recommend. If you do want to use a dating site, maybe a month or a couple months before you get out here or while you're here in conjunction with on the boots on the ground type thing. He also talked about the lack of sidewalks. Walking around here in Dumaguete, there's a lot of areas that there's just no place really to walk safely. Now, with that being said, there are areas that are being built up kind of outside of the city that they're kind of taking into consideration, hey, we need to build the roads a little bigger, put some sidewalks. And so they're starting to do that. But within the downtown area where all the shops and a lot of the restaurants and coffee shops are, it's already too late. They can't really expand. It's too late for that. And they can't really do the sidewalks. And if you do find a sidewalk, well, there's motorbikes parked on it, or there's broken parts of the sidewalks. So one of these expat bubbles may be a better option for you if you're really somebody who just wants to walk around and be able to be in a city that's walkable. Dumaguete probably is not the best fit for you. Pollution, smoke, dirt, trash, and traffic. I kind of bunched it all together, but this can be kind of a problem here in Dumaguete. There's starting to be a lot of traffic, more in the downtown area, but it is kind of spreading out. Even in the mornings when I'm on my way to the gym or coming back from the gym, I run into a lot of traffic. And with that, gosh, you get some really horrible drivers here in Dumaguete. I hate to say it, but if you're driving down the road, all of a sudden a big truck is moving into your lane to overtake without any regard that you're in that lane or not. And you almost got to go all the way into the ditch to avoid somebody, and they just don't seem to care. Like a big truck, a bus, or whatever, they will just overtake, and you just got to clear out of the way. Sometimes it's really difficult to do that because there's nowhere to go. So you really have to drive careful here. And the traffic, again, is spreading out outside of the Dumaguete proper area. It's really starting to affect driving here. That's quite problematic. Now, a lot of big trucks will go through Dumaguete, and I don't know if it's on the roads. They just kick up a lot of smoke and dust. I mean, I get back home and I'm covered in soot. And so, again, for example, when I was in Bacolod and Iloilo, I pretty much parked my motorbike and I took cheap grab rides all over, and it was nice to arrive someplace clean, not all sweaty and dirty, and you have that option. And sometimes I don't feel like driving, or I want to go to the grocery store, and really I'm kind of limited by what I can carry on my motorbike. Do I still plan on getting a car? Probably at some point. Not a priority at this point, but it was fun to shop for it and kind of see what's out there and see what the price points are. Now, the lack of quality grocery stores versus like maybe big warehouse stores. Now, Dumaguete does have some specialty stores. We have like the Why Not, which has a little deli with some imported deli meats, cheeses, breads, yogurts, things like that. We have Lorenzo's, which has a lot of imported meats and deli items. And we also have Belcris, which also has a lot of imported items. Now, these are very small stores. They're not big stores. And so there is kind of a shortage as far as, products that you may want, items that you may want. We don't have a really big mall here. We have a Robinson Mall, and we have a new mall that went up, which is kind of a small mall. But if you went to a city like Cebu, Manila, Davao, you got a lot of malls, right? And these malls have lots of options. For example, when I was in Bacolod or Iloilo, I saw a DJI store selling all the latest DJI stuff, which was really cool to be able to have those options. You don't find that here. You can't find any kind of DJI item. When I was looking for my new camera, I looked around, not available here in Dumaguete. You have to go to like Bacolod, Iloilo, Davao, Cebu, Manila to find something like that. And that goes with a lot of items. Places like Cebu and Davao and all these places, Bacolod, they have these warehouse stores, which are essentially like a Sam's or a Costco back in the States. And big warehouse store full of meats. And another issue is in Dumaguete, the refrigerated meats. Sometimes you'll have the meats just kind of out in the open and they're not even iced, and anybody can just stick their hand in there or flies can land on it. And I do not like buying my meats that way. I need to go, usually there's one store that I'll go to in particular where the meats are frozen or the meats are refrigerated and behind glass. Robinson is usually the one that does that. Other stores here, Lee Plaza and Hypermart, there's no glass over the meat. The meats are just out there in the open for anybody to kind of grab, and it just does not look good. So, yeah, these are some of the top complaints that I hear from expats that come out to Dumaguete to give it a try, and they say, yeah, Gio, it just was not a fit because of these reasons. And these are the most common ones. Again, dating, not the best in Dumaguete. It's simply a numbers game as well. If they see a lot of foreigners on a day-to-day basis, then you're not going to be as noticeable or as special, right? And if you go to a city where there's very few foreigners and they see you, they are like, double takes and rubbernecking and maybe even more friendly and, easier to date because there's no other competition except for maybe guys who are long distance. And if you're already here in the country, and it's much better. And again, check out the dating site that I highly recommend. Link is in the description or the pinned comment. And try your luck today. You can find the right one. But food for thought, let me know what some of your favorite cities are. If you've been to Dumaguete, do you like it or not? What are some of the reasons you do like Dumaguete? What are some of the reasons you don't like Dumaguete? Let's have that discussion down below. Again, check out my website, geointhephilippines.com, for all kinds of information. You can book a consultation with me if you have questions for traveling or moving out here, or you want to shop and purchase some of the items that I highly recommend for living or traveling out here in the Philippines. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see everyone next time.